back. Welcome if you're new. My name is Eileen. I film lifestyle videos, and on today's video I am going to be doing a reset for 2025. Today is January 1st and I'm letting all of the new year vibes just flow through, and I'm getting my life together and getting ready to make this the best year that I possibly can. So grab a warm beverage, I have mine, and let's get started. I'm drinking mint chamomile tea for anyone that's interested. Like I said, I am going to be going over my cozy reset for 2025, and what this entails is a lot of reflecting on 2024, as well as just going over all the ways that I set up myself in this last week between Christmas and New Year's, what I did to kind of get ready, and then just like my goals and my intentions and stuff to make this a great year. So let's get started. So a few nights ago, I just sat down in bed, warm drink in hand, and I just let my brain go wherever it wanted to. I got my notebook, and that's what I'm going to kind of be going over right now. I just thought about the year, like everything that happened, that didn't happen, that could have happened, just my mindset, every aspect of 2024. I tried to keep it linear, so from the beginning of the year to the end of the year, but it brought a lot of things to light. And even though I am ending this year in a very positive mindset, that's not necessarily where I started. Okay, so let's go over my reflection. The first thing I noticed was that there was a very big disconnect from the first quarter of the year, so January, February, March. That time in my life just felt like I wasn't being very present within my life, which, you know, is not the attitude or the energy or the vibe that you want to go into a new year with. And if you know anything about me, is that I thrive this time of year. I love coming up with plans. I love, you know, writing to-do lists and goals lists and vision boards and all of that. It is where I thrive. But last year I just was not feeling it. Last year I felt very disconnected with my life, and my mindset was just not in a good place for some reason. And I thinking back, I really couldn't even tell you why. I just felt very disconnected. I did discover reading a little bit more, or I didn't discover reading. I was already a pretty avid reader, but I was more into self-development books. However, in January of 2023, I discovered the ACOTAR series, which all of my friends, for the most part, have read. And the reading really just made it a lot easier for me to disconnect from reality. Now, don't get me wrong, I am a mom, I'm a teacher, and all those things, so all of those responsibilities were still getting fulfilled. It's just that it was almost, the best way I can describe it, it was almost like an out-of-body experience where I saw myself like doing all of these things that I had to do, but I wasn't like physically there. I wasn't heart and soul into everything. So I do remember I didn't like that feeling, and I made some changes to that later on. I mean, not the reading very much stuff. I'm going through the whole cycle and through all of the motions of the romantasy stuff, but I did make changes to feel a little bit more present in my life. A couple of other things that I noted in my reflection was that I didn't have a very nice May, and May is both Mother's Day and my birthday. And I remember not really enjoying either of those occasions. And then we went into summer, and summers tend to be a lot of highs and lows. It's just an emotional roller coaster all over the place. Generally because I am a teacher, so I don't work the summer. And this summer in particular, I was potty training. So that meant even more time at home. So it was a lot of highs and lows. The highs did come in taking two little like beach vacation trips within Florida. The first one we did in June, and it was just with my husband, the kids, and then a couple of friends from work. We went to St. Augustine, and that was just such a nice and wholesome trip. And the second high was because I took another like really quick like 1-2 day vacation trip where I drove with the kids for the first time by myself to this other location that I really couldn't tell you where right now, but I drove somewhere in Florida, somewhere in upstate Florida, because my sister and my mom and stuff were renting up there in front of the beach. So we went, and that was again just really nice to spend some quality time with my mom and my sister and my niece and my nephew. That was really cool. I loved seeing that. I loved experiencing it. And then school started. I went into doing my classroom. My child, my oldest, started school. So that was a very big change for all of us, just like a new routine. And then as the beginning of the school year progressed, there were some events that happened. They were really tough things that happened, and I remember just being very sad. And we went into October, and October, my God, October is always so hectic just because I have birthdays pretty much every week in October. One of my best friends, my nephew, my son, my husband, we have our anniversary, we have Halloween. So it's just like very hectic nonstop. So by the time October is over, I'm just exhausted. Then we got into November, and November was a little bit more chiller, and we do a couple of more traditional things. Like, I love traditions. I am super into having traditions for pretty much anything. So for November, we go to the berry farm with some friends, and it's just like all of our families, and it's just really fun. Like, we have a great time, and I would say that that was probably my favorite day. The weather was perfect. All of us had a great time. The kids were great. They had plenty to play with. Everyone's attitude was just nice, and it was just wholesome is the best way that I can describe it. Then Thanksgiving, if you saw my video, I make Thanksgiving dinner. I'm the one that preps the majority of it, and this year I prepped enough of it that on the actual day I just had to make the turkey, so it was very stress-free. Then we got into December and we went to New York, and that was the last video that was posted on my channel. I will link it below or put in a note card up here, but that trip was cool mainly because it was a trip that it was my kids' first time seeing what I've always called my favorite place, and it was also my kids' first time on an airplane, so that was really cool. Then when we came back from December, we did a couple of more Christmassy things. Then it was Christmas, which this year felt very chaotic. We celebrate the 24th and then we celebrate the 25th, but it just felt very chaotic to the point that after my kids went to bed on the 25th, I literally just took down all of the decorations and just like I was done with Christmas. And if you can see, like up here, I already have the Valentine's decorations up because I was just so done with Christmas. So next year I am looking to simplify that time and make it a little bit more enjoyable so that I'm not just dying to put everything away. And then we come to New Year's, and here we are. A couple of other things that I did want to note is that even though, like I said, there were a lot of highs and lows, a couple of highs that I want to mention are the fact that since my kids are a little bit older this year, by we I mean my husband and I, we were able to connect here, go on a couple of more dates and just like reconnect. So it's nice that we were able to give more attention to each other this year. Same note that I was able to give myself a little bit more attention this year. I was able to connect with who I am right now, get to know myself and make changes and just get to a good place. A low that I do want to mention as well is the fact that I barely saw my best friends. I think I maybe saw them a handful of times, and I would like to change that. But yeah, I think that concludes the reflection portion of my reset, and now we're gonna move on to the actual planning and prepping for the new year. Okay, in preparation for the new year and in this like limbo time between Christmas and New Year's, I hope host like a little tarot day where I have 2 or 3 girlfriends come over and we all bring our tarot card deck and we make like a little charcuterie style board and we just do our yearly spread. And we go one by one saying what each different card for each different month of next year is going to bring, what the theme is going to be. We write it down, we talk to each other, we create little like manifestation jars, we sage the house. It's all in good fun. And then the other thing is looking into my reflection, I start noting different areas that I want to work on and I start creating my Pinterest board for the new year. That's part of the prep. The second part of the prep is I declutter. I just go around the house and I do a massive decluttering of things and I go and take them to Goodwill. A lot of people like doing that this first week of January, but I like doing it in this limbo week. So I do that. I pick up a bunch of stuff from around the house, and this year I had like 2 big bags that I took to Goodwill yesterday actually. After the declutter, I do a massive cleaning. This year I reorganized the way my house looks. Like I changed the furniture around a little bit. Like this behind me did not look like this. This bookshelf was somewhere else. I like went through the bookshelf, decluttered books that I haven't read in ages or that I don't want to read. So my house looks great. My house looks awesome. That's one of the ways. So that now, January 1st, I wake up and my house looks nice and clean and I actually want to be here. That's the prep that I do. So that takes me to the actual getting ready. And this is obviously the goals. Alrighty. So kind of like the same as with the reflection, what I like doing with the goals is I let my brain just flow and I just write down a list, bullet points, whatever way it wants to come out. I just write it down, let it just flow through. It doesn't have to have any rhyme or reason of all of the different goals and intentions and vibes and things that I just want for the new year. And then once I have that written down, I just put them into like different categories depending on what my focuses are going to be for this year. Okay, so based on my reflection, I noticed that one of the areas that I do need to work a lot on is my finances. So what I am going to be doing is I am going to be attempting a no spend 6 months. 6 months, I would love to do a year, but I don't know if I can. Just simply laying it out there. If I feel like I can do a second 6 months this year, I want to actually reevaluate all of these goals at the 6-month mark, which is going to be in June, and see what I can adjust, what I want to continue, etc. For the second, we'll say goal that I want to do is my health. As much as my health has improved this year, I do feel like I have let my fitness go quite a bit. I don't know if it's because I got busy, if because I got lazy, whatever it is. So I do want to reconnect with that again. And another fun challenge, because a no spend 6 months is not enough, is I want to do 75 soft. Quick run through of that is it's 75 days where I have to do certain things. I will also be doing a short video coming up, just talking through what I'm planning, how I'm doing it, all of that for 75 hard or 75 soft. I just want to try this out so that I can get back into this routine of working out. I want to love it again. I want to not make excuses to not do it. So that's another big priority of mine. My third category, family. So for family, there's several things that I want to do. I want to potty train my youngest child. Not excited, but you know, summer project, future me problem, but that is something that I want to do this year. I want to be done with diapers. My youngest starts school this upcoming school year, so I do prefer to have them start school being potty trained already. So that's the reason for that. But again, within the family umbrella, potty training my child, I want to spend a lot more time going to parks and just spending time outside and having like meaningful time and playing with my kids. I want to have less TV time. I want to replace it with going outside more. We actually did really well with that this year. I just want to increase it a little bit more. I want to have more dates with my husband, so that. I also repositioned my house in a way that my kids can eat, if it's not at the table with us, at a little table right next to us. They have like a little play table that can be used as a dinner table, so I put it right there so we can move to having these family dinners. For travel, there is a place we want to go to. We have our tiny cabin vacation that we take every year. We have that coming up at the end of January. And then I would like to do another little summer road trip situation where we go either to St. Augustine again or maybe a little bit further up, but again, that'll be for the summer and we haven't decided that. What I do know that we want to do this year is we want to go to Tennessee. I'm not sure when. I would love to go when it's a little colder, so towards the end of the year. That way again, we have vacations spread out, but we will see. Big news for number 5 is we are moving this year. After much communication, we decided that it's time for us to move. We've been at this apartment for 2 years and we just are ready to move on. It's also quite expensive, so we are looking to move into a place that is a little bit cheaper. We have other things in mind that we do want to prioritize, and saving money is one of them, and that means we're gonna be house slash apartment slash townhouse slash all of the things hunting. Maybe we'll go crazy and buy this year. We'll see. Again, to be determined. But we are moving this year for sure. And then lastly, for my career, I want to start my master's degree. So like many of you know, I am a teacher, but my aspirations are a little bit higher than that within the education system. So I do need a higher degree. So yeah, my plan is to start my master's program by the end of this school year. It's scary and it sounds like it's gonna be a lot of work, but I'm also really excited for it. Alrighty, so something else I wanted to include for the first time, I've never really done this, is a reading goal. I don't really have a specific number of books that I want to read, but I do have a few books already that I want to get through this year, along with a couple others that I haven't purchased yet. Prior to last year, I was a big personal development category kind of person, and last year I didn't really read any personal development books, so I do want to incorporate a couple of those this year, starting in January. You'll see what I mean. So with that, let's get started. The first book is in that personal development category, and it is The Psychology of Money. I just keep seeing this book everywhere. I know it came out a bit ago, but it's just one of those books, and considering I want to get my finances really in order this year, I think this is a really good one to start off January with. Now, because this is a personal development book, I think I'll be fine reading another one alongside it, so I'm probably going to read one of my fantasy ones alongside this. But yeah, this is one of the first books that I want to read this year. Then I just finished last month the Serpent and the Wings of Night, Serpent and the Wings of Night duology, so I wanna continue on with The Songbird and The Heart of Stone. I wasn't planning on reading this one, but my friend read it. We read the other ones together, and she went on to this one and she loves it. She says she likes it even better than the other two, so I will definitely be giving this one a shot in January, right before Onyx Storm. I think these are the only two I'm going to really try to get through in January, because I do have Onyx Storm that comes out January 21st, and I already pre-ordered that, pre-ordered everything, so I'm ready to go January 21st to start reading them. So I think these are the only two that I'm going to be able to get through before that one. Another one is one I've actually had in my shelf for a while, but I've never read the full thing, so I want to give it a shot again to read it, because I do love this film by Stanley Kubrick, and it is Clockwork Orange. So I went through a big purge, you can say, of the books that I have on my shelf. I donated a bunch of them and made some more room in my shelves. This one is one that I've had in my shelf because, again, I love the movie and I just haven't gotten through it, so I definitely want to do that. Clockwork Orange. Another one I want to read, and I actually want to read the series. I just purchased the first book so that I'm ready to go with it as soon as I'm done with Onyx Storm, but I do want to read this whole series. I think it's like another 8 books, kind of like Throne of Glass, so I'm excited for that. But it is from Blood and Ash. I know a lot of people love these books. I know a lot of people hate these books, but I keep seeing things about it lately and it just sounds like I'm gonna like them. So I'm excited to read these series. This is the only series I'm really trying to fully finish this year. That's a goal. Again, with the same category, everybody was raving about this, especially in the October time. So I finally got it. Especially, I know the second book of this is coming out next year, or not next year, this year. We're in 2025. So I know that the second book is coming out this year and I wanted to read this one. So Phantasma, I hear really good things about it. It just sounds really interesting. I know that she falls in love with a phantom or something like that. So yeah, this one. This one I started, but then I never finished. And this one I actually just gave it to my mom in Spanish, so I want to actually finish it. And this one is another one that, again, I had in my shelf. It's actually my friend's. She lent it to me. I'm so sorry, friend, if I have not returned it to you. I will as soon as I actually finish it, especially with the movie coming out. But that is Verity. So I was very intrigued, so I don't really know why I didn't finish it, but I'm planning on finishing it this year, Joe. So that's what I have so far. It's a pretty good stack. It's like a pretty good stack so far, especially that this one has like another 9, 7 or 8 books, something like that, to go. That's my reading goal. Those are my reading goals for this year so far. I'm pretty sure I'm going to add quite a few to the mix. And again, I'm very, very excited for Onyx Storm to come out. So please leave me down in the comments if you're also super anticipating Onyx Storm, because I can't wait. Alrighty, so now it is vision board time. I have my goals set up. I have a Canva collage thing ready, and I'm just gonna go through a Pinterest board that I've been accumulating, and I'm just gonna pick a couple photos to add to it. So I thought that I would have you guys do it with me. So let's go. Alrighty, so this is the vision board that I'm working on, and then this is my Pinterest board. I have them side by side so that I can quickly go in and out. If you see, I've already added a couple things like over here. I want to change some things though. I want to put them by section. So this is going to be like my healthy corner over here. I'll show you guys the end result, but that's essentially how I am going to be doing it. I'd do more with you guys, but my battery is about to run out. So here's the completed version. That's it, friends. Thank you so much for resetting with me for 2025. I had so much fun just reflecting and manifesting with you all. If you're resetting for your own 2025, please let me know in the comments what you are most excited about. Don't forget to like this video, and if you are new here, don't forget to subscribe. I will see you all in the next one. Bye.